what are the documents that students should submit for Sweden universities? This is the next common question which every student should look into. The first document that you will have to be ready with is your passport. So passport is your identity document. And what is the thing about this passport is the validity of your passport document, like the expiry date. Many a times I've seen students coming to me with a passport which has an expiry date less than 6 months from your course start date, which I will not advise a particular student to do. It is better to have a passport with an expiry date at least until your course duration, so that there is no renewal process done in between your course of study. So look into your passport's expiry date, and if that is at least until your course duration, then that is your safer limit. Next, coming to your educational documents. This educational document starts from your 10th mark sheet, 12th mark sheet, and your college semester-wise mark sheet. And if a student is already passed out, then you will have to have your consolidated mark sheet. Now, for a student who's in a final year, you can also still apply to the Sweden universities. You will have either your 6th semester or your 7th semester documents with you. So along with this, I will advise you to take up a bona fide certificate from your college so that you can tell the universities in Sweden, telling them that you will be graduating it by next year, and whatever is your final semester's expected month or result is there, you can have that information updated in your bona fide certificate. So this bona fide certificate will play a very important role for Swedish university. Next, coming to the transcript. So a student who's already passed out will naturally have a complete transcript with them. But for a student in the final year, I will advise you to apply for a transcript with your university with the same 6th or 7th semester mark sheets updated. Now, there is one other document which Sweden universities looks for is the grading scale certificate. What is this grading scale is? The grading conversion that your particular university has used for your computation. So many a times grading scale is seen in your document itself, like in the mark sheet, in the underneath, in the below column, you will have this document, or in certain universities have it in the flip side of your document. So wherever you see your grading conversion, you will have to take up a separate scan of that particular document and upload it in the portal. So now the next document is the universities looks for your English proficiency scorecard. It is either or IELTS or TOEFL score, whichever you are appearing for, you will have to submit this particular scorecard too. The next document is statement of purpose. This is one document which every student will have to take time in preparing it. It should not be an AI generated one, because recently I've seen many students giving me a document which is just fed into the ChatGPT profile, and they give me a complete ChatGPT version of an SOP, which will definitely be rejected by the universities. Instead, I advise my student to understand the SOP as a document which tells about your past, present, and future. The past will be about your why did you choose up this your undergraduation degree, and what did you do in your college curriculum apart from your scholastic thing, like about your internships, your projects, your work experiences, your mini projects, anything that you do apart from your apart from your curriculum, but related to your scholastic things. So this is what is about your past. And in present, what are you doing now? In case if you're doing a work experience, you can include about that. And the future is more important. Like, why are you applying for this particular university and this particular program? So this is a very concrete information. Students just giving me stating that I'm applying for this particular program in KTH University. That will not mean that it is a university specific SOP. You will have to do a proper grounding work or giving a good conclusion of why are you applying for KTH or why are you applying for Chalmers. Here you will have to refer the course modules, the faculty profiles, everything has to be interpreted. So a good SOP has to have a very good communication. Like, it should be on a normal language level. It should not be in a very high level of language like the ChatGPT version and other things. Some universities will interpret the SOP in a different way. They will ask for your letter of motivation or letter of intent or personal statement kinds of thing. So getting ready with the document specifically towards a particular university also will take time. Next is the letters of recommendation. So you'll have to approach 2 to 3 professors of yours for you to get the letters of recommendation. So this LOR can be from any professor, provided the professor has an official email ID, and this particular referee can give it in the letterpad of the organization. These are the only 2 rules. There is no rule that you should get it only from a PhD professors and other things. But see to it that the letter of recommendation is not a general conduct certificate kind of thing stating that you will have to, it should not just boast about your personal traits. It should have technical information of yours. So I'll do a detailed video about this SOP and LORs in a later profile. But for this particular information, just understand that this LOR has to be a technical document. Then comes the CV or resume. So a student who is having a higher level of work experience will have to concentrate more on the CV part. If it is going to be a fresher student or a final year student, your SOP talks more about your profile rather than the CV. So for the CV part, you can have the Europass CV format or a general normal resume format also you can use it for. Now finally, the program specific documents. This is an important segment because many Sweden universities have something called as the ECTS summary sheet. ECTS summary sheet is for that you will have to understand the program requirement of a particular university. So this ECTS summary sheet, you will have to start making it ready in the month of October, November itself, so that it would take time for you to get this document ready with. I will definitely make a detailed video about this ECTS summary comparison sheet, LORs and SOP on a later stage. The Sweden's application and admission journey, I have done an exhaustive video which is split into multiple parts. So please take your time in watching up the other segments too. And thanks for watching this particular video.